Alright, chat. Brace yourself. Brace yourself for the horrors of the creepy parents behind OF models. Chat, I ain't gonna hold ya. I think I would have a very hard time knowing if I had a child that was doing OF. Like, again, nothing against you doing what you want to do when you're 18 or over. It's just like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could interact with them. I wouldn't hate you, I just don't know what I think of you very much. Like, I'm going full send on Gagey, son. I have no problem with that. I'd only be mad if they weren't even rich doing it. Wait, that's like a double whammy. Like, not only did you get an OF son or daughter, they don't even make good money. But yeah, that's kind of strong. Alright, let's look at it.
Dad, do you think I'm a bop?
How many bars do you have?
Your father's okay with this?
Why are you asking your dad, like... Oh, this is so weird.
Yeah, he's more than proud. His back of his phone case is like a QR code to my...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what? You're actively promoting, like...
Guys, modernity was a mistake. We're gonna have to start over. Hi, my name is Sydney, welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by Opus Clip. And just to remind you all once again, in big news this week, I will be going on tour in October, coming to 9 cities across the United States. I will be in Denver and Cincinnati and Seattle, crazy. Where I'm probably going to get punched in the face by they, them. I would love to see you all. I think this is going to be a ton of fun. I'm actually really excited about it. And like I said in my last video when I announced this, if you have any ideas of what you want to see, absolutely let me know, because I don't want to be a boring person
doesn't be a punch in the face. It's very not nice.
For 45 minutes about that nothing. Link in the description box. Get yourself some tickets. I will bully you all until you do. This is now a hostage situation. Anyway, now because I have made a ton of videos talking about OF Women, the platform dedicated to singular fans, for those of you who don't know, I have had to sit through and watch so many hours of these women talking about what they do, their interviews, their podcasts, and so on. And one of the things that comes up over and over and over again, believe it or not, is how their parents and other loved ones respond to their mattress actressing, to their sausage hiding activities, if you will. I am almost certain there is—
I don't know, man. If I'm Bonnie Blue's dad, I don't want anybody to know Bonnie Blue's my daughter. That shit is insane. The thing she's tried to pull. Wait, isn't she banned on OF too? Like, they officially banned her because they couldn't take it anymore?
A euphemism for that. I cannot think of one, unfortunately. I think the general assumption is that parents don't react terribly well when they realize that their daughters, in particular, are doing the oogly boo on the internet for little green bits of paper. It's probably not what a lot of parents have in mind when they think about their daughters' future careers. You know, you want your kid to be an astronaut, not someone who puts whipped cream on all their toes and then flails them around in the air. I have seen some weird things. Leave me alone. However,
the feet people are insane. You'd be surprised the amount of people that will pay money to see your toes.
For many of the pillow-dwelling ladies that I looked at for this video, it's a bit of weird wording, I'm sorry about that. It seems like their parents are overwhelmingly very supportive, and the parents have either admitted to this themselves or the girls say that of their parents on their behalf, which I personally find both fascinating and upsetting. And of course, this is for a few reasons, the first and the primary one being that the parents' approval seems entirely predicated on how much money their child is earning, not because they think this is a good or even safe career path, which is weird. That is weird, right?
I will say, selling your body through pictures is not as bad as standing on a street corner. Let's be realistic about that. Because there are obviously OF girls that will just do whatever that you want and like show their butthole. But you could be a streetwalker.
This leads these women to
I'm
basically
eating jerky,
view
by the way.
themselves as cash cows for their families. They view it as their responsibility to lift their parents out of poverty or financial hardship.
Yeah!
And their parents, weirdly enough, just seem to go along with it. And the second is that these parents, and honestly other loved ones as well, seem to get ingrained in what these women are doing. They start participating in the content being made. They start participating in the business that these women have. And there's something very not right about this. I don't know. We have fathers wholesale participating.
Why are you so... I didn't even like the idea of, like, my parents giving me the sex talk when I was, like, 14 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They thought it was embarrassing. I thought it was embarrassing. And now we're doing this. Best bop daughter and DILF dad combo. Like...
participating in this content, even handing out flyers in some cases to find
Bop
men
house!
for their daughters to do the higgledy-piggledy with. We have young siblings promoting their sisters' OF accounts.
As I've been like leveling up, you know, in my career, like what's the craziest thing that's happened to you so far?
So there's this one kid, I'm not gonna mention names, he is obsessed with you. Every time I'm on the bus, he takes his phone and he goes, "Oh look, it's your sister."
I think this was rage bait. We figured out that this was rage bait to promote her OnlyFans, but at the same time, I also think this could be real because people are really gooned out, even at a young age, with how available the internet is nowadays on your phone.
You know, and he goes like this, "Oh look at this." Yeah,
Are you okay?
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. Say that again in like 5 years. I don't know. What's a bop? Baddie on point, if I remember correctly. Like, it's basically another word for baddie. Like, you know, being a hot chick or whatever.
Do you care?
And they ask me, "Is it pink?" I just tell them, "Pay for it and find out."
To even
That is gross, dude. Imagine hearing that about your sister. Ew!
and joking about friends of the family subscribing for the content here. Yes, that is legitimately happening. I don't know what to do with this information.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's been some guys like outwardly saying like we used to go to school together,
Wow.
or some of like dad's friends and stuff.
Dad's friends, you...
Like that.
So because I find
I'm embarrassed of my parents ever finding out I'm a VTuber and you're just like parading around and talking about your dad's friends knowing what your freaking hole looks like, man.
all of this incredibly unsettling and very bizarre, I thought we have to talk about this. This is perfect for our Hell Gondola. And I will say, of course, right out of the gate that there is so much to this topic. There's so many interviews and so much footage to go through. So I have really tried to narrow this down to the best/worst of it to really give you guys a picture of how pathologically messed up all of this is.
Well, yeah, because you're being trained by your own brain to like ignore the fact that you're just showing your butt and your hole.
If I miss something, don't yell at me. So children, before you once again board my Hell Gondola and together we float down this weird, bizarro river of what the hell, let's hear from today's sponsor, Opus Clip. I like things that make my life easier, like vacuums and washing machines. But I also like this ease when it comes to making and editing my videos, which, as you know, I'm still not very good at. But this is genuinely
neither, don't
why
worry.
I am so stoked about Opus Clip, which is unironically one of the coolest AI tools I have ever used. No cap, shorty. Opus Clip started off as an AI clipping tool, and it still is, using video links from YouTube or Rumble, or uploading
I would not trust AI to get a good clip. I ain't gonna hold ya.
a video manually, Opus Clip makes portrait-style short videos for social media, which is wildly useful because they're very good quality. You have a lot of flexibility to choose video length, where you want the video clipped, and so on. Here, I put my last video into Opus Clip, and it gave me a number of short clips for social media, complete with captions and the editing style that I chose, but I can actually go in and add things like B-roll. I can edit the clip. I can enhance the audio if there's any funny noise I want to get rid of. It even gives your clips a virality score. But because Opus Clip has been
virality score, you're gonna pop off, queen!
Needs, this program has become an all-in-one AI video editor. Now, with features like auto import, Opus Clip can automatically pull your newest videos and auto-edit them into social media ready clips.
Chat, you say this is bad and how this is all really bad because of AI, but you just know that people like Mr. Beast and all the really popular YouTubers very likely use this to try and pump out as much content as possible for as little money as they can.
Even just added 15 new
There's
caption
a reason
styles.
why it's getting sponsored and is popular.
Insanely cool AI software, then click the link in the description. Because when you use my link, you get 1 week of Opus Clip for free and then 50% off their pro plan. So get started today using my link in the description box. One of the things I noticed about many of the women I looked into for this video is that their parents did, in fact, start off very disapproving and upset, but this quickly changed when they realized the earning potential.
The money, of course. I mean, obviously.
Here. And somewhere along this road, they almost got absorbed, so to speak, into their daughter's OF making in one way or another.
But you don't have to, like, parade around and then tell everyone that your daughter's an OF model. Like, let's take the more liberal and, like, I guess, like, lenient approach and say, like, okay, maybe she paid off for my house and, like, she paid off my medical bills and now we're not really poor anymore, so, like, I'm happy for them. But that doesn't devolve into literally involving yourself in her sexual content. Like, I just think there has to be a fucking line, right?
And yes, we're talking about the dads here too. Nala Ray, who made OF content before her recent conversion to Christianity, was raised in a very religious home with a pastor father. But after her parents found out about her online activities, they were understandably very upset, and her mother eventually cut her off completely. Similarly, Camila Araujo, I've probably butchered that, guys, you know I can't pronounce names ever, a 23-year-old OF creator, explained during a podcast episode that her very Catholic family and parents were extremely disapproving at first.
Oh, she Latina? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Lots of them are Catholic. Yeah. It's a very Catholic culture.
If she was going to make adult content, then she was on her own financially. When Bonnie Blue's family found out, they thought she was being blackmailed or was in financial trouble.
No, like, my parents are, like, so funny, Catholic and very, like, religious, and I kind of told them, I was like, well, what if I did this? And, like, I was like, what if I was making, like, 100K a month? They're like, you're never going to achieve that. And they were very upset about it, obviously, like, honestly, as a parent should be.
They thought I'd been forced into it to start with. They was like, if someone asked you to go into this, are you in trouble for money or something like that?
So what happened was, like, my parents kind of disowned me. And, like, I stopped talking to all my siblings.
This has to be a really weird conversation.
It's sped up because of copyright.
Mom and Dad, I know you thought I would be a veterinarian, but honestly, I kind of want to put my toes on the internet. Someone has to give the men with the armpit fetishes what they want, Mom. And that's
someone has to be a VTuber that entertains thousands of people every day. Right?
One is me.
Yeah!
Anyway, these initial reactions are more or less, I think, what the majority of us would expect from parents, especially those who are religious or who have any slight conservative-leaning values. I feel like for a lot of people, their daughter or their child making this sort of content and publishing it on the internet is like just a nightmare situation. Somewhat bizarre.
Well, you can't mentally comprehend it as like someone who didn't grow up on the internet. Like, to us, we're so conditioned through like memes and like culture and jokes in the last 10 to 15 years that it doesn't seem like that striking of a contrast. Whereas if you're a boomer or like a Gen Xer, or a millennial, and then you hear about your kid doing OF, you're just like, your brain just explodes. Oh no, actually, no, millennials grew up with the internet. Yeah, never mind. No, I think it's like Gen X and below.
In each of these cases, and in many others, things changed drastically when the women each started pulling in hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of dollars a month, completely changing their parents' position from one of derision to approval, with these parents repeatedly saying, if it makes her happy, or she's an adult, she can do what she wants.
Would you not prefer her to, you know, pursue something where she could use her brains more?
If that made her happy, yeah. Well,
see, what I feel like, as if I was in the position and I was doing OF, and my parents were like, we hate you, we disown you, blah, 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 and then they turn around and find out how much money I make, I would feel so betrayed. I can't believe that she's like, oh yeah, my mom's here and she's involved after, like, I don't know, them finding out and potentially disowning you. I feel like the ones that permanently disown you have a little bit more of an integrity, so to speak, or at least a moral high ground to stand on it, you know?
So you're alright with her doing anything so long as it just makes her happy?
Yeah, as long as she's happy.
And safe. Probably.
Happy and safe, and that's it. There's no good having a job where you earn loads.
What do you mean safe? Your daughter's blowing out her ass for a bunch of men and likely getting diseases. Like, we know what Bonnie Blue did. Didn't she take like 100 guys in like 24 hours? How is that safe? Excuse me?
The money, or then you're miserable.
I'm not gonna lie, I am really close with my mom. She's one of my favorite people, but I would legitimately throw up in my mouth if she ever said anything like this.
Me too. My parents don't even know I VTube. I feel like I'd throw up in my mouth knowing that they would like be like, oh yeah. Also, she's tested every month, but the guys she's doing aren't. I watched a documentary where she's like, we don't have enough guys showing up. We're just gonna take randoms off the street. Like, that's actually in the video. I don't know, man. I wouldn't trust them
if I was behaving this stupidly. Like, what are you doing?
How does it feel to know that you have a daughter that does an OF?
She's happy. I'm fine.
Ah yes, a very Catholic dad suddenly super accepting of his child doing the oogly boogly on the internet. A tale as old as time. Bonnie Blue even had a laugh with fellow Naturalist actress Lottie Moss, swapping stories about how their mothers accepted what they were doing once they realized how much money was being made. Oh my god, this is so grim.
To be fair, like, my mum said to me once as a kid, she was like, don't be the town bike, because she knew I was sleeping around, like...
See, this is what I fucking mean. Genuinely, I don't think it's great to abandon your child. I don't. This is like, it's bad. I think it sucks. It ruins that kid's, like, it ruins their mentality and all that. You failed them as a parent, whatever. But then you flip because they make money? I think that makes you a lot worse than the one that abandoned them. Yeah, like, I think that makes you 100% worse.
But now me being a bike has paid for our bills, so she encourages it now.
She's in on it.
You go ahead.
I think that was
she's encouraging it now after, like, and then she flipped.
Changed my mum's, like, perception of it as well.
Do you think that the mom would be okay with it if she wasn't making, like, millions of dollars a year? You think if she made, like, $10, she wouldn't still be like, oh, well, don't be a town bike? Yeah, I bet you she wouldn't be so happy.
It was like, oh, like, she was super judgmental at first. She was like, you're and I was like, okay, no. And I wasn't even sleeping with people online either. I was literally just doing, like, sort of, like, you know, just naked stuff or whatever. And as soon as I started, like, making all that money, she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So, okay, you're making a living out of it. It's fine.
Now, to my mind,
insane.
maybe some of this acceptance is predicated on some...
Yeah, I bought my mom a car, but she still doesn't know why it's pink. Yeah, sure thing, Jan.
Of these women essentially buying their loved one's approval. Like Araujo, for example.
And that teaches you that they only love you for your monetary value as opposed to you being yourself. That's such bad, like, parenting and in like, behavior in general. Yeah.
Saying that she bought her father his dream car after he complained about her including family too often in her TikTok videos.
Dad recently has been giving me about using my brother for videos and like using my family for videos and stuff. And then I was like, oh my god, dude, shut up. So I bought him a car, his dream car.
This has got to be clickbait too. No way, right?
And literally hasn't said anything after that.
Or after being told by her younger brother Christian that she's a bad sister, listing off a series of things she...
You know what he should have done? Should have still kept shit talking her, being like, I could probably shut up if you buy me a yacht. Just imagine, dude.
Bought him in an effort to justify why she isn't.
You might not understand how it makes me feel when you say I'm a bad sister, but like, I took you to Greece. I literally threw you a surprise party at the house. I took you on a yacht to watch the 4th of July fireworks. Like, bro, after all that, like, and more, how can you call me a piece of sister?
You think all that?
I bought you stuff. I paid for your stuff. I don't actually hang out with you or do anything with you, but you know, everything's okay if I just give him some money. That's how real life works, right, chat? I pay you to hang out with me.
It's gonna make you a better sister. All I care about, all you care about, sorry, is about the materialistic things. I just.
This is rage bait. We very much know that this is rage bait.
I want my sister back. I want my sister back.
This clip actually makes me really sad because the brother is...
Don't be sad, it's rage bait. They made him say this.
So clearly having such a hard time with this. And like I showed you at the beginning of this video, they have used him to promote her OF account, and there's actually other footage of the brother freaking out and saying that his sister has ruined his life, that children consistently come up to him at school and make comments about all of this, and I have so much empathy for this kid. Yeah, I just find this really distressing. I know this video is not about and is not focusing on other family members, but I really think that it's important to add this kid in here just because, I don't know, this whole thing is really grim. And like I said, it makes me really...
I don't know, I think that to a certain extent, I think that the kid probably does feel like that. I think they probably do, but again, at the end of the day, they put up this TikTok with a script and... yeah, they probably put him up to it. And he looks like he's maybe like 14 years old, so I don't think he even understands the capacity.
Sad. Anyway, Bonnie Blue's situation, of course, is similar, with her mother expressing happiness towards the holidays and gifts that the family has received as a result of all of this money. But maybe it's about more than pacifying people with stuff. I would venture a guess to say that the vast majority of these women probably have quite messed up family dynamics, despite the fact that in many interviews and podcast episodes and what have you, they love to say that they come from very nice, normal upbringings.
Oh, but if you remember the thing, chat, the more you post on social media as a family, the more likely you are to be compensating for something. Like, you know how couples post on social media, like Facebook and shit, and then it turns out that they're having like a horrible time and they're going through a divorce? It's the same thing with like families.
Now, obviously, like I said, there is a lot to this topic, but I think that one of the things I find the most shocking is the reaction from the fathers here. Nala Ray's father eventually made peace with her making OF
weird, Mama and the dad.
But this only seems to be after she started paying his way and giving him money for other members of the family. She funded him to the extent that when she told him that she was ready to leave the platform and pursue her Christianity, he encouraged her to continue on for another 18 months to make even more money.
Oh my god, that's fucked.
Oh my god.
What? My dad, however, was a very different story. My dad encouraged me to stay on.
Time out.
I feel actually bad. If that's real and that's not rage bait, like, I can understand why she's so fucked up. All this guy cares about is money.
Ex-pastor.
Yeah, daddy needs a
Wait a minute,
Porsche.
rewind the tape.
But like for me,
You
I was
need to go
paying
back,
him.
bitch.
I was giving him money like every month. because like, you know, he's got such a hard life, or he's like wants to quit his job, or like his other kids need a divorce lawyer.
It's tough.
Sure.
I'm sorry. That's
There you
tough.
go.
That's
It's
tough.
so tough now. And during it, I was just like, oh, at least one person in my family is speaking to me.
Yeah.
But like now,
Nah, that's sad. I can tell she's actually being genuine.
I'm like, when I finally
admitting that like her dad talks to her and it makes her happy, and the only way he sticks around is by giving her more money. I don't think she's lying, chat.
decided to follow Christ, I called my dad. My husband was right next to me. And I was like, hey, Dad, I'm getting off of it's like blah, blah, blah. I was so excited. He was like, well, why don't you just stay on another year and a half and like make more money and, you know, like settle yourself in? Because, you know, it's really expensive right now. And I'm like, did you really just tell me to stay on? Like, did you really just say that to your daughter? Did you really just tell me to continue making?
Camila Araujo's dad.
Let's take this at face value and think about how the parent should have probably said and guided and said, whatever makes you happy, I will support you. Like, again, I'm saying take the liberal stance. Be as nice as you can, but he's encouraging her and be like, I mean, you know, you've already made $18 million. What's another $2 million to round it out to $20 million?
Who appears alongside her in
my
a lot
God.
of videos, is featured in clips captioned DILF Dad and Bop Daughter. Bop, just by the way, is Gen Z online slang, I think, for a promiscuous
For like
woman.
baddie.
Maybe.
For like being a baddie.
I'm not sure, I googled it, but the Google wasn't terribly helpful. In one video, her dad is also seen holding a sign promoting the Bop House, a content house where a bunch of early 20-somethings live and make adult videos together.
And then she calls him a DILF too. That's so inappropriate. I would rather vomit on the concrete outside, let it cook in the sun right that moment, and then scrape it off and eat it again before I throw it up again. That's disgusting. Calling your dad a DILF.
Yeah, we live in a grim period of time, guys. I don't know what you want from me. I found this video particularly bizarre, where Araujo's father essentially asks her how many men she's done the devil's tango with. I would die if my dad ever said this to me.
Dad, do you think I'm a bop?
How many bars do you have?
Why is that any of your business, man? Why does dad need to know that, bro? No amount of $1 million. If I was a dad, I'd freaking want to know, bro.
How do you even know what that phrase means? All right, that's enough. That was the end of the interview.
Anyway, these are just a handful of clips. There are obviously a ton more where she continues to use her dad to signal how cool and normal and accepting he is.
All right, Camilla's dad, how do you feel about your daughter starting an OnlyFans?
It's real life. I don't really care.
Never seen any videos?
Nah, I don't.
Any pink pics?
Nah, don't care about it. Hey, like my new tattoo?
Yeah, your new tattoo, yeah.
Nice, right?
Yeah, it is. Pretty nice, pretty hard, actually.
He gives no
Yeah, he does.
Even Shaq knows. He's like, yeah, he does. This guy's a clown, and he's like, yeah, he does.
It's probably scripted, but I do love how at the end of this clip, this kid is like, yeah, bro, no one
it's
believes
scripted,
you.
of course it is,
Because it's
Jack.
as clear as day to anyone with eyeballs that this is weird. And this seems to be a bit of a theme here. Dads are often used as a way of signaling how normal this is, because if a dad is fine with it, the person who is presumably going to be the most angry, then I don't know, maybe it makes these women seem much more relatable. Maybe the behavior overall seems a lot less risky and more socially fine. Ugh. And unsurprising to absolutely none of you, Bonnie Blue takes this to the absolute extreme. In a series of interviews, she proudly explains how accepting her stepfather is. Earlier this
Yeah. Understood.
year on Howie Mandel's show, Blue explained how her OF content is a family business, how her family is on her payroll, and explains that her stepdad has a QR code of her own.
Bro, what the hell is going on here? Is she wearing anything? Hold on, is she not wearing anything at all, or is it like a shirt that's blending in? Ew!
explains that her stepdad
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even...
has a QR code
It's just
of
a
her OF
code.
on the back of his phone.
Do you have siblings?
I've got a sister.
Yeah. Is she in the business?
No, she's not. She works for me, but she's not in the business.
The family is aware?
Oh, it's a family business.
Oh, it is.
My mum, my
And
dad,
they're all involved.
and my sister, everyone.
What do you mean? Your mom? This is a family business?
Yeah. But it's like, I earn millions, so why would they go to work? Like, they can do
You
things for
support
me.
your family as well.
Yeah. Like, they're not obviously feeding the cocks inside of me.
No.
Did she really have to say that out loud? Like, I know, again, this is scripted, but, like, you could not pay me $1 million to say that. You could not pay me enough money to say that in front of my dad.
But, like, if I need things around the house or if I need a bit of admin doing, they'll help me out.
Your father's okay with this?
Yeah, he's more than proud. His back of his phone case is like a QR code to my own.
In another interview from late 2024 with Liam Tufts, Blue says her stepdad is fascinated by what she does.
What do you mean fascinated? Excuse me?
But the two interviews that I personally found the most alarming are from mid to late 2024, where Blue explains that her stepdad hands out flyers to attract men for her to do the higgledy-piggledy with during the...
Dude, what? This guy must be, like, there's something, like, clinically wrong with him. What if he just gets off on the idea?
And whatnot. And more disturbingly, she shares a
He
story
must
about
be,
covering
right?
her stepdad's arm with a bunch of stamps, basically saying, I did adult things with Bonnie Blue, before he went to the pub that night. Ugh.
Honestly, he loves it. Like, obviously doesn't sit
Oh my god, my life flashed before my eyes.
watching the videos, but like all my social media, my TikToks, he'll have a look at. And he's just proud seeing how happy I am, how much I've been able to support the family. And it's like, it's really changed my life and my family's life.
Got these stamps and it says like, I slept with Bonnie Blue, I want to sleep with Bonnie Blue and stuff. And like, I was practicing them on my dad, and my dad was like, I need to go to the pub after this. And he's got like stamps all.
He's
Blue, I want to sleep with Bonnie Blue and stuff. And like, I was practicing them on my dad, and my dad was like, I need to go to the pub after this. And he's got like stamps all up his arms to say he slept with his daughter.
like, I know they're not related, but like, I just feel like there's just... She's gotta have, right? Like, with that attitude, I just feel like, even though they're not literally related, I feel like with her laugh and the jokes, unless it's like rage bait, and they're...
Well, he's not blood related, so I guess it is legal. Don't even finish that sentence.
Like, I mean, all his mates at the pub love it. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably made him a bit more popular.
She also explained how her stepdad collects news articles about her exploits, and one night when she was trying to determine how to caption a video on Instagram, her stepdad suggested one that referred to her getting rammed as a joke about a sports team that he liked.
This guy, exhibitionist fetish or something, right? I as a joke, yeah, really funny, Dad. Yeah, objectifying your daughter, yippee.
I hate it here.
Yeah, like my dad is so proud. Obviously, he doesn't watch any of the videos, but any news articles.
That's cap. I don't believe that.
Of course, he still has a look, like gets them all printed out. Anything I could do, like my photo shoots that aren't naked, they've got them all around the house.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
And I was like, oh, I need to put something on Instagram. And my dad was like, I said, but I want to do something about football. And my dad said, oh, caption it, you've just been rammed. Because like the Derby County also class themselves as rams.
If I'm being honest here, the mums are not much better. I've already showed you a couple videos of Bonnie
They're
Blue's
both
mother,
bad,
but
champ.
honestly, it gets
Not
much
just the dead.
worse than that. I don't know why I'm smiling. It's very sad. In the interview I already showed you, Blue's mum happily talks about cleaning up after her daughter's multi-person experience times, if you know what I mean.
I'm walking away. I can't do this. Ah!
Which is just very upsetting. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with that. The mother also apparently does social media management for Bonnie Blue, so okay. I need you guys to understand what this means. That the mum is probably helping her select and post clips.
Yes, sweetie. Yes, sweetie. You gotta put your hands up and get grabbed in like that way. That'll get the views, sweetie. Yes, of course. Mom does the editing. Jesus.
I really feel like I need a shower. Lily Phillips, another quite notorious mattress actress from the UK, has explained that her mother also does her finances and bookkeeping and helps.
Why do they all do this? It must be like a thing for them, that like fetishizing it or something. That's how they grow up.
With her investment portfolio.
Like, she's like gone on like my feed and stuff like that, and then she's seen like, she follows me on Instagram, she follows me on TikTok, she's seen my Twitter, and so they know what I do. Dad, not so much, but I don't really think he needs to see it. But yeah, no, they're still so proud. I have such a supportive like family and friends, and what they think about me is so much more important than what strangers think about me.
So your mum thinks you're successful?
Yeah, they're very proud of me, and you know what, they are very supportive. So yeah.
Philip's situation,
you.
I think, is actually quite interesting
That's
because
awesome.
although she claims that her parents are extremely supportive, along with the rest of these women, during an interview with Candace Owen, she slipped up and admitted more or less that they're not supportive per se, but they just find it easier to back her in an effort to not rip their family apart.
To be honest, my
Oh my lord.
parents, they don't necessarily, they're not coaching me into it. They're not telling me, please keep having these people at all. They're not, they're not really exactly, I wouldn't really say like supportive, but at the end of the day, they love me, and what is it going to do?
That's so heartbreaking, because it's like, hey, they don't want to abandon her. Chat, I don't know, man. At least they're not saying like, is she a bop and how many men she slept with. Yeah, they basically ignore it, or they try to deal with it because they don't have to like literally wash their daughter, bro.
If they disown me, stop talking to me, that would only cause more heartache. So they see it from a standpoint of, my mum does like my finances because she wants to help me. They just want to do what they can to help. It's not so much like if they disown me tomorrow, like I think that would just make everyone more upset.
And maybe that's really the undercurrent for all of these parents. Maybe everyone is going along to get along because it's much easier to do that than start poking holes in your family unit. Or maybe it's because money talks very, very loudly. It screams even.
You buy a Lamborghini.
I have to wonder if there
Chat, you get a McMansion overnight, or you stay broke, or... Sorry, let me paraphrase that because my brain's getting cooked. Would you deal with having a daughter or a son that does OF if you got a McMansion? Or would you rather stay where you are right now? And everybody knows about it. Like, everybody knows that your daughter does OF in your town. Like, this isn't something like you can hide because she's making millions of dollars. Like, be honest. And don't judge each other if you say, like, yes or no. Yeah. Stay broke. I'll take the McMansion. That's fair. No, I'd rather be homeless. Everybody knows about it, and then they, like, say they want to pork my daughter. It's like, I don't know, man.
was no money involved,
I'm
how
okay.
many of these parents would be so accepting and supportive and trying to normalize all of this if there was nothing that they could gain from it? And I think this is one of the factors that actually grosses me out the most. For these parents who should be working to guide and protect their children, this isn't about acceptance, it's about dependence. And turning their daughters into the breadwinners by playing hide the sausage creates a kind of awful situation where there is an expectation that they must keep producing content, turning adult activities into a familial obligation, which is—
Imagine that your parents hated you until you bought them stuff, then loved you. I can't live like that. I'll be fucked up mentally. That's what I said at the start. Again, I'd have more of a moral respect for someone that said, I don't care how much money you give me, I don't want to talk to you, as opposed to like, oh, well, you give me a Lamborghini, now it's fine. You are a terrible parent, because you're teaching them that it's okay, that you're giving them value, aka money, or objects, and it's fine because you're giving me money, as opposed to, you know, standing on what you said.
It's really
not
grim.
that it's
And I
okay
think
to
it's
abandon
because
your
of this
child. I'm just
obligation that
saying.
each woman that I looked at, Lily Phillips, Bonnie Blue, Camilla, whose last name I haven't written out phonetically, so I can't pronounce, Sophie Rain, and so on, have all integrated their loved ones into their content and or businesses to some extent. Some of these women have even gone the extra mile, expressing that it is their obligation to lift their parents and their families out of poverty, or at least pay for their family's lifestyle, which is— God, it's just, no, small child, that's actually not your responsibility at all. Like I said, there is so much to this topic and so many things to say and point out, but for the sake of time and brevity, I'll just leave you with some final thoughts. This whole type of thing is actually not remotely a new phenomenon. For as long as there has been the internet and kid influencers and young people on the internet, parents have been profiting off of their children and the money that they make.
Yeah, that's very true. It's been like that since like the 1600s. Pop out as many kids as you can so that they can send them to the mines so they can pay for your house. Not everybody did that, obviously, but yeah, you had to make money somehow.
So while it's not terrific, it's not terribly shocking.
But it's different, though. How is it different to send your child to the mines so that they can get crippling, like, permanent, life-altering, you know, what is it called? Life-altering and body, like horrible pains in their bodies by the time they're, like, 20? Like black lung diseases, and they may even die there. Like, how is that any better? Yeah, lifelong ailments. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. Kitty, you're distracting me. Shut up. I don't think it's any different. I think it's still bad. You're still putting your kid's life in danger and ruining their life for money.
I think more importantly, these women talking about their parents' acceptance like this, putting their family in videos and content, actually goes the extra mile in normalizing this for other women and girls. It turns something that has long been taboo into something that mom and dad will get on board with as long as you're happy and can make enough money. They'll appear in your cute TikToks, they'll make jokes about what you do, and whatever concern they had initially will dissipate once they start getting something out of the situation. I'm disgusted by the fact that, in my opinion, these parents are effectively enabling the exploitation of their daughters so they can have fun on cruises or whatever.
Yeah.
They are putting their daughters at risk. They are signing off on their daughters being at risk for mountains of stuff. And I am sorry to say this, but this is not good or normal. And frankly, and as much as I try not to judge how people want to go about living their lives, this really is an indication of societal degradation. I have long been of the belief that the normalization of adult work, either out in the real world or online, is not a good thing for women. I don't view this as the ultimate business strategy. I don't view this as empowering, and I think that on a long enough timeline, this is actually catastrophic for women. So in the end, I think one of the realities here is that
the only thing that's actually positive about it is that you can do it online and you don't have to interact with these people personally. That's the biggest takeaway. It's like, yeah, it's still online prostitution, but at the same time, At least you're not going out there and stuffing your hole full of dicks. Except for Bonnie Blue, she actually does do it, which is powerful, I suppose.
Isn't really a neat little bow that we can tie around this issue, because the women here are young, but they're adults. And
again, family exploitation still falls into the fact that during this economic desperation that these people have, like in one of the clips it said that one of them was living on food stamps before she started doing OF, doesn't justify sacrificing your bodily autonomy. Like, yeah, you're still an adult doing this, but I think in my personal opinion, I don't think it's worth it.
Parents really don't have ultimate control over their actions. But with that said, I do wish that they would be a little less complicit in promoting this kind of lifestyle and, more importantly, normalizing this sort of behavior. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out Opus Clip using the link in the description. I genuinely think that this AI is incredibly cool, and if you are somebody who needs this sort of thing, absolutely check it out. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that this is not a great thing, and it's lovely that parents love their children, but maybe this is going too far with their support? Are you on the other
It's absolutely going too far if you tell everyone in your neighborhood block that your daughter or son sucks dicks for a living and talks about it openly. Objectively, even if you are like the most liberal, open-minded person in my chat, I think that you are like bragging and encouraging other people to go to it for monetary gain. I think that's abhorrent.
Side of this where you think
like
that
you have
actually,
no
this is a
shame
good thing and parents should behave this way
or care.
unilaterally. Do you think this is overall contributing to the degradation of society? Do you think that parents supporting their children openly like this is going to encourage other women and girls to make OF accounts and go down this path, hoping their parents will also be supportive? And what you generally make of all of the components of this issue overall. As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Of course, I hope you wonderful little chicken babies stay safe and well and make good choices, because that is important. And I will see your wonderful little faces in the next video.
Oh man. I think the honest conclusion is that if your support for your daughter or your son or whatever comes with like control and you're pressuring them, like just like the girl said, her dad pressured her to stay in OF, or they're financially dependent on them to succeed, it's not actually support. It's exploitation dressed up in like manipulation. They're manipulating you to stay and do what's in their best interest, as opposed to being like, do whatever makes you happy, sweetie. If you want to quit OF, that's cool with me. You won't buy me a Lambo, that's fine. I don't really give a shit. Hey, this is so much more nuanced, and I mean, I've yapped for like a good freaking while, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when your parent becomes your manager for adult content and then looks at your finances, it inverts the natural emotional roles that dads and moms have, and it is insanely toxic and damaging, especially when it's done for clout and money. Imagine your dad goes out to the local pub and is like, yeah, my daughter's getting, you want to see her hole? You know, if you buy her veggies of her spending her whole part for $5, that goes to me buying a pint for you guys. And it's like, oh my god, like, okay, that's not what I wanted to hear, but alright. Imagine how that freaking looks. But she was talking about her dad going to the local pub and how her dad's friends enjoy her content. It's like, I couldn't. I'm sorry. I can't imagine. Yes, hi kitty. I know, you need to be fed. I know, you gotta be fed. He's screaming at me.